What's up, everyone? I'm Guy, and this is Comic Book Jeopardy. And on this 41st episode of Comic Book Jeopardy, we have brought you 60 new questions and answers to test your knowledge on all things comics. Now, before we dive into the categories today, please do me this small favor and hit those like and subscribe buttons. We would really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot, and it really helps support the channel. So yeah, thank you very much. Now, as you probably know, these shows feature 2 rounds of questions now with 30 questions per round, and the first Jeopardy round, if you will have the following categories. Category number 1 will be TMNT, the Mirage years, and these are questions all about the classic Ninja Turtle comics from 1984. Category number 2 this week will be Spider-Man, Brand New Day, and here we have a series of questions testing your knowledge of the latest installation of Spider-Man in cinema. Category 3 is Fantastic Four villains, and yeah, that one is pretty self-explanatory. Category 4 this week is DC superhero weaknesses, and these questions are indeed all about things that our favorite DC heroes are vulnerable to. Category 5 is Hellboy, and these will be questions pertaining to both Hellboy comics and movies. And finally, category number 6 is Horror Movie Classics, and as always, the last category in each round of Comic Book Jeopardy is our Wildcard category, with questions pertaining to anything and everything pop culture, and this week we are doing classic horror movies. Now, with the category explanations out of the way, let's dive into the first round of Comic Book Jeopardy. TMNT, the Mirage years for 100. In issue number 1 of TMNT Mirage comic series, the Turtles first clash with this villainous street gang. Who are the Purple Dragons? And if you said the Foot Clan, no, that would in fact be wrong. The Turtles met Shredder and the Foot Clan later in that very same issue, but first they fought the Purple Dragons. Spider-Man Brand New Day for 100. Several classic Spider-Man covers are recreated in this film, including the cover of The Spectacular Spider-Man number 142, featuring Spider-Man's defeat by the hand of this villain. Who is Tombstone? Fantastic Four villains for 100. Originally a Herald of Galactus, he eventually turns and protects Earth and humanity. Who is Silver Surfer? DC superhero weaknesses for 100. He's vulnerable to kryptonite, a radioactive piece of his home planet. Who is, of course, Superman. And yeah, these 100-point questions are supposed to be pretty easy, but don't worry, it will get much harder later on. Don't you worry, indeed. Hellboy for 100. In his 2004 cinematic appearance, Hellboy was portrayed by this actor. Who is Ron Perlman? Horror Movie Classics for 100. Jason Voorhees first appears as the machete-wielding, hockey-masked supernatural murderer in this film. What is Friday the 13th Part 3? And yeah, if you said Part 1, no, that's not right. What we asked was when he was the hockey-masked murderer, and when did that first appear? In Part 1, Jason appears as a child in a flashback, and in Part 2, he's got just like a sack over his head. It wasn't until the 3rd movie that he gets the hockey mask. Now, with those cupcake round questions out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the 200-point round. Good luck. TMNT, the Mirage years for 200. On the closing page of the first issue of the Mirage comic book series, the story closes with this quote. We want you to fill in the blank. We are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We strike hard and we fade away, blank. What is Into the Night? And yeah, see, I said these would get a little bit harder. That one might be a little bit of a deep cut, but hopefully some of you guys got it. Spider-Man Brand New Day for 200. Ned's Spider Tracker app plays this music when someone reports a Spider-Man sighting. What is the Spider-Man animated series theme music from 1967? Fantastic Four villains for 200. This master of both science and the mystic arts is Reed Richards' brilliant college academic rival. Who is Dr. Doom, of course, and supposedly going to be played by Robert Downey Jr. in the upcoming Avengers movie. DC superhero weaknesses for 200. You can stop him with the color yellow, the colorful representation of fear. Who is Green Lantern? Hellboy for 200. Hellboy first appeared in comics in 1993, published by this indie comic book company. What is Dark Horse Comics? Yeah, I know, someone's probably gonna say Hellboy first appeared in a small self-published San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 4-page comic book, and okay, that will count too. But Dark Horse Comic was the first major publisher of Hellboy comics, and that's also what we were looking for here. Horror movie classics for 200. Wes Craven and Robert Englund brought this serial killer with a bladed glove out of the dreamscape in this 1984 classic. What is A Nightmare on Elm Street? All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for the 200-point round. I hope you're doing really well. Now it's time for the 300-point questions, so get ready. TMNT, the Mirage years for 300. The second issue of the Mirage comics series introduces these two new characters, a pair of scientific colleagues. Who are Baxter Stockman and April O'Neil? Yeah, so who out there remembers that April O'Neil wasn't a news reporter in the first comic book appearance? No, she was a lab assistant. Spider-Man Brand New Day for 300. She plays the role of Jean Grey, but she is perhaps best known for playing the character Max in the Stranger Things series. Who is Sadie Sink? And according to the filmmakers, they just came out recently and said that Jean Grey didn't necessarily kill anyone in the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie, but I don't know about that. I think she got some people killed. Fantastic Four villains for 300. First appearing in Fantastic Four number 18, this villain possessed the combined powers of all 4 members of the Fantastic Four. Who is Super Skrull? DC superhero weaknesses for 300. This Justice Leaguer has a severe psychological and physical fear of fire. Who is Martian Manhunter? Hellboy for 300. He is the artist and the creative mind behind the Hellboy character. Who is Mike Mignola, and he's done a lot of great art on some Batman books as well, which I really enjoy. Horror movie classics for 300. John Carpenter is known for films such as Escape from New York and The Thing, and this horror classic featuring a killer wearing a Captain Kirk Star Trek mask. What is Halloween? All right, guys, I hope that you are keeping score and I hope that you're doing well. Now, don't forget to leave your total score in the comments at the end of the show. We love seeing how you guys do, so please go ahead and do that. And to be honest, it helps the algorithm as well. TMNT, the Mirage years for 400. Baxter and April are responsible for the creation of these robotic devices in the second issue of the Mirage Comics TMNT series. What are mousers? Yeah, those little mechanical robots that would go through the sewers searching for rats, including Splinter. Spider-Man Brand New Day for 400. He was the director of the Department of Damage Control, and he was responsible for the death of Sarah Gray. Who is William Bill Metzger? Fantastic Four villains for 400. This insectoid ruler of the negative zone wields the powerful cosmic control rod. Who is Annihilus? DC superhero weaknesses for 400. In early classic comics, she lost her strength if a man bound her bracelets of submission together. Who is Wonder Woman? And yeah, they were some weird people creating comics back in those days. Hellboy for 400. Hellboy is a half-demon, and it was revealed that his human mother was a descendant of this bastard son of King Arthur and Morgan Le Fay, making Hellboy the rightful heir to the throne of Britain. Who is Mordred? Now, does that mean that technically Hellboy would be capable of drawing Excalibur, the sword, from the stone? Because I would think that he would be capable of it, being that he is a descendant of King Arthur, no? Horror movie classics for 400. Starring Clu Gulager, this 1985 romp sees two employees at a medical supply warehouse accidentally release toxic gas into the atmosphere, causing the dead to rise from a nearby cemetery. One of my all-time favorite zombie movies, what is The Return of the Living Dead? Okay, time for the last round of questions in this first round of Comic Book Jeopardy. Here we go. TMNT The Mirage Years for 500. First appearing in issue 3 of the Mirage Comics TMNT series, Splinter encounters these brain-like aliens in the TCRI building. Who are the Outrams? Spider-Man Brand New Day for 500. Well, and there we have our first daily double, and there will be 3 daily doubles, 1 in the first round here, and 2 more in the next round. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to the question and of our first daily double from the category of Spider-Man Brand New Day. This actress was set to reprise the role of Claire Temple, the night nurse, but her scenes were cut a week prior to the film's release. Who is Rosario Dawson? Fantastic Four villains for 500. Making his comics debut in Fantastic Four Annual number 5, this technocrat from the Microverse intends to conquer Earth using the Control Box. Who is Psycho Man? DC superhero weaknesses for 500. For a brief period in 1990s comic books, Power Girl had this bizarre weakness. What is a weakness to raw, unprocessed, natural elements, including wood, stone, dirt, and sand? And I gotta ask, does that mean she's basically vulnerable to the entirety of Earth? That weakness doesn't really make sense. Hellboy for 500. Hellboy has had many team-ups, including a famous run-in with Batman, and more recently, a strange crossover with this magical Missy in a one-page story included in the back of an Archie vs. Predator comic. Who is Sabrina, the Teenage Witch? And I have to ask, is it weirder that they did an Archie vs. Predator comic, or that Hellboy and Sabrina the Teenage Witch had some sort of team-up in it? Yeah, both are pretty odd. Horror movie classics for 500. Often cited as one of the greatest horror films of all time, this 1973 icon is the ultimate fright experience due to its shocking practical effects and terrifying occult themes. What is The Exorcist? All right, guys, that will wrap up the Jeopardy round, and now we are going to be moving on to the double Jeopardy round with 30 more questions and answers following from the following 6 categories. The first category of this Double Jeopardy round will be Zatanna, and that was at the request of one of you guys in the comments, actually in a Facebook message, but either way, so here you go. I hope you enjoy these questions. Category number 2 is Marvel Team-Ups, and who remembers those awesome Marvel Team-Up comics back in the day? Well, I hope a lot of you do, because these questions will be all about those team-ups. Category 3 today is What If? And yeah, a series of questions all about those classic what if tales. Category 4 will be Joker's Wild. These are a series of questions all about Batman's greatest villain, the Joker. Category 5 in this episode will be First Appearances, and yeah, we've done this one before, but I thought it would be fun to revisit this category, testing your knowledge on heroes and villains' first appearances in comics. And our second wildcard category this week will be Sounds of Seattle. And for all of you alternative rock and grunge fans out there, like myself, we've got a bunch of music questions all about the bands that put Seattle on the map in the early 1990s. Now, with the explanation of the categories out of the way, let's go ahead and dive straight into these questions. Zatanna for 200. Known by her single-word name Zatanna, her full name is this. What is Zatanna Zatara? And I gotta say, I didn't know that was her last name, so this one is new to me, probably some of you as well. Marvel Team-Ups for 200. These two heroes developed a close friendship over the years, but their bond was cemented in the 1972 issue of Marvel Team-Up #1, where they battled the Sandman on Christmas Eve. Who is Spider-Man and the Human Torch? And it's said that they meet up every Christmas to exchange gifts at the Statue of Liberty. So yeah, that's pretty cool. What If for 200. In What If number 35, Terry Austin and Frank Miller revisit Daredevil number 181, and they show what might have happened if Bullseye had failed to kill this character. Who is Elektra? Joker's Wild for 200. In episode 42 of Batman the Animated Series, the Joker breaks out of Arkham Asylum to destroy this. What is a casino named Joker's Wild? And yeah, now you know where the inspiration for this category name came from. It came from that episode of Batman the Animated Series. First appearances for 200. He first appeared in Action Comics #1. Who is Superman? And yeah, I know there was a couple of first appearances in that comic book, but I think it's obvious who we were looking for here. Sounds of Seattle for 200. This band's 1991 hit, Smells Like Teen Spirit, premiered on MTV on September 29th, and it redefined the sound of rock for a generation. Who is Nirvana? All right, that will do it for the 200-point round. Now we're moving on to the 400-pointers. Zatanna for 400. Zatanna is a stage magician and an illusionist, first appearing in this 1964 comic book. What is Hawkman number 4? And that's one that I unfortunately don't have in my collection. Marvel Team-Ups for 400. In Marvel Team-Up number 100, Chris Claremont and Frank Miller paired Spider-Man up with this team, the first family of Marvel Comics. Who are the Fantastic Four? What If for 400. In What If number 31, the story of a fight between Hulk and this character is reimagined with the Hulk having been killed. Who is Wolverine? Yeah, of course, Hulk versus Wolverine, one of the most famous superhero battles of all time. Joker's Wild for 400. This is the real name of the Batman sidekick Robin, who Joker nearly beat to death with a crowbar and then left trapped in a warehouse with a bomb that actually killed him. What is Jason Todd? And yeah, if you said Dick Grayson or Tim Drake, no, it was Jason Todd, but those were also characters that were played as Robin as well, so, you know, at least you got that right. First appearances for 400. Speaking of Robin, the Boy Wonder first appeared in this comic book. What is Detective Comics number 38? And Sounds of Seattle for 400. This former drummer of Nirvana went on to be the frontman of Foo Fighters after the tragic death of Kurt Cobain. Who is Dave Grohl? And now we're going on to the 600 pointers, so good luck. Zatanna for 600. Zatanna was originally depicted as belonging to this fictional race. What is Homo Magi? Or maybe it's Homo Magi, I'm not exactly sure. Marvel Team-Ups for 600. And there we have it. It is the daily double of the Double Jeopardy round, the first one. There will be another one, so keep your eyes peeled. And yeah, again, you know how it works. Wager as many points as you have previously earned on this question from Marvel Team-Ups. Good luck. Marvel Team-Up number 65 saw this villain's first appearance, an evil genius with an amusement park called Murder World. Who is Arcade? What If for 600. In What If number 36, the story tells of what would have happened if this team of superheroes had never gained their superpowers. Who are the Fantastic Four? And I haven't read that issue of What If, but I could imagine what would happen if they didn't have their superpowers and continued to go about their superhero lives. They probably would have got their butts kicked a lot. Joker's Wild for 600. Early in the New 52 series of DC books, Joker allowed this character to completely cut off the skin of his face. Who is the Doll Maker? And yeah, that was gross, to say the least. First appearances for 600. He first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man number 14, and he rode a device that resembled a flying vacuum cleaner. Who is the Green Goblin? And yeah, I think it was supposed to be some sort of like flying mechanical broom, but if you look at that issue of Amazing Spider-Man, it looked a bit like a vacuum cleaner, I gotta be honest. Fortunately, they turned it into the Batwing glider thing shortly thereafter, and that was a pretty good choice. Sounds of Seattle for 600. Lane Staley and Jerry Cantrell formed this grunge and alternative rock band in 1987. What is Alice in Chains? All right, guys, just the 800 and 1,000 pointers left. Keep your eyes peeled for that last daily double. It's coming soon. Zatanna for 800. In post-crisis continuity, Zatanna had engaged in a disapproving relationship with this sorcerer and occult detective. Who is John Constantine? And yeah, apparently her father found out about this relationship, and he was the one that was apparently very disapproving. Can you blame him? Marvel Team-Ups for 800. In Marvel Team-Up number 82 through 85, Spider came across this femme fatale and superheroine, but she had amnesia and believed she was a school teacher named Nancy. Who is Black Widow? What If for 800. In What If number 26, this superhero beats Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan to become the President of the United States. Who is Captain America? And I guess that would have made him President America, because is President a higher rank than Captain in like military rankings? Not exactly sure how that works, but President America. Joker's Wild for 800. The Joker tricked this fifth-dimensional being into giving him 99.99% of his reality warping powers. Who is Mr. Mxyzptlk? I know Mxyzptlk is how Matt pronounces the name. I think in the cartoons we saw once, it was pronounced Mxyzptlk or something. Very difficult name to say. But yeah, there you go. First appearances for 800. Archie Andrews, star of the self-named Archie Comics, first appeared in issue 22 of this comic book series. What is Pep Comics? And Sounds of Seattle for 800. Known for hits like Black Hole Sun and Fell on Black Days, this band's lead singer Chris Cornell died in 2017 at the age of 52. Who is the Great Soundgarden? And now for the final and most difficult round of Comic Book Jeopardy. Good luck, gang. Zatanna for 1000. DC revised Zatanna's background with the 2011 New 52 revamp and established her to have been born in this year. What is 1987, making her much younger than previous depictions of the character? Marvel Team-Ups for 1000. In Marvel Team-Up number 50, the final issue of the first series, Spidey teams up with these 4 X-Men to fight Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy. Who are Rachel Summers, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Rogue? And yeah, that's a pretty tough one. I don't think I would have got that one right. What If for 1000. In What If number 19, the question is asked, what if this hero never became a crime fighter and he chose to go into show business over heroism? Who is Spider-Man? Joker's Wild for 1000. Joker blew up a school full of children in this graphic novel by Kevin Smith and Walt Flanagan. What is Batman Cacophony? And I think I did read that one way back in the day. Okay story, not the best artwork, probably a pass, but if you like Kevin Smith stuff, maybe check it out. First appearances for 1000. And there is our second daily double of the Double Jeopardy round. And yeah, of course, you know how it works. Go ahead and wager as many points as you have previously earned on this question from first appearances. I hope you go all in and I hope you double up. The Chaos Comics icon Lady Death first appeared in this comic book series. What is Evil Ernie number 1? And fun fact, I was told a long time ago by my now sadly deceased comic book store owner and his good friend and, co-worker, they had the opportunity to purchase the rights to Evil Ernie for, I believe it was $10,000 back in maybe the early 2000s, and they turned it down, which is crazy. I think they should have bought it. And finally, the last question of this Double Jeopardy round, Sounds of Seattle for 1000. Before being known as Pearl Jam, they were named this, a band name taken from an NBA basketball player. What is Mookie Blaylock? All right, guys, that will do it for the Jeopardy and Double Jeopardy rounds. I hope you went 60 out of 60 on those. Now we have Final Jeopardy, and the Final Jeopardy category today will be Obscure Batman Villains, and this will be taken from, or could be taken from, comic books, movies, animation, video games. It's going to be a very obscure villain indeed, and I'm not telling you where it's coming from. So go ahead, block in your wagers, how many points you want to risk on this question of, Batman's obscure villains. Good luck. This joke villain was created for Batman the Animated Series as a parody of the campy supervillains who fought Batman in the Silver Age of comics and, of course, the early 1966 Batman television show. His weapon arsenal consisted of high-pressure guns firing ketchup, mustard, and hot sauce. Who is Condiment King? Now, yes, the Condiment King did first appear in the animated series, but he also did make some appearances in the comics throughout the early 2000s. He appeared in Batgirl Year One, in some Birds of Prey issues, and in a standalone Robin series. Now, sadly, he was eventually killed after being betrayed by the Human Flame, and he was bludgeoned to death with his own ketchup and mustard guns in the Final Crisis Aftermath series. So yeah, that's kinda sad. Now, that said, that'll wrap up today's episode of Comic Book Jeopardy. Again, don't forget to let us know in the comments down below, what was your final score? I hope you did keep score. I expect to see some 100,000 point scores from some of you guys out there. I know there's a lot of very knowledgeable comic book fans amongst our audience. With all of that said, I'll wrap this one up for saying, again, thanks for tuning in and watching. As always, we appreciate it. And as I always say, keep collecting comic books, keep watching our videos, and until the next one, bye now.